Would you rather be as tall as you are or as wide as you are tall? I feel like this kind of
As tall as I.
Yeah.
I would just want to either I'd become I'd stay the same or I'd get wider.
Wider. Like you be, so what are you, 5?
Yeah.
All right, what's up, my people? We are here checking in today with another episode of Inside the Vibe. I'm Yoru, and our guest today is a designer, painter, graphic designer, sculptor, really just an all-around artist. Also co-owner of one of the up-and-coming luxury brands. Wouldn't say lifestyle because it costs too much money for that. Co-owner of Mbari. I give you Arinze.
Hey. That was a good intro. I like that.
Dope. All right, so we got some questions, but before we get to that, we're going to have a little, calm game of Would You Rather to lighten the mood, get the blood flowing, get the energy doing what it needs to do. And we'll just get right into it. All right, first one I have for you is, would you rather turn into E.T. or an alien from Space Jam every night?
Space Jam aliens.
Okay. Which color, though? Don't tell me if you're a freak or not.
Wait, nah, because I don't even know what reference you're referring to when you say that. That was a wholesome movie for me.
Green one, orange one, and purple one. I think there was a yellow.
I'm not going to lie to you. My immediate thought was red.
Okay. Because you think you're a leader. Okay.
I guess. I don't even remember the connotation of the movie.
What do you mean? They stole the talent from.
No, I haven't watched that in so long.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Okay. Would you rather be as tall as you are or as wide as you are tall? I feel like this kind of.
As tall as I.
Yeah.
I would just want to either I'd stay the same or I'd get wider.
Wider. Like you be, so what are you, 5?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah.
I'll stay how I am.
Okay. All right. So would you rather have to swim everywhere or bear crawl?
Ooh. Bear crawling is crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Bear crawling is crazy.
That's nuts.
But I'm just also thinking of a situation where, like, if I stop swimming, I die, right?
No. It just means, like, everywhere you went, like, let's say, like, niggas invited you to Brooklyn. You got to swim. You just got to find a way to swim. Like, you'd have to swim. You'd have to swim. You can't just hop in a car. You got to swim.
But, like, bear crawl is crazy. But I just feel like...
The answer is swim. I don't even know why you conversate.
Because let's say I'm tired of bear crawling. I don't then sink, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if like swimming to Brooklyn's a long distance, what if I get tired?
You're gonna have to reject a lot of invitations. Bear crawling.
Okay, you're saying like I can say no.
Like let's go to Brooklyn now. Bear crawling. You'll arrive what?
You're overestimating your ability to swim.
No, I'm overestimating the time it would take to bear crawl.
Swimming
is crazy, but bear crawling, like either way, you're not getting there.
Yeah. So, I guess so. Swimming would be the easiest way to die, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Because I'm probably gonna be scarred either way, so I'd rather swim. All right. Would you rather have to shake hands with yourself every time you meet someone, or offer your foot as a substitute for a handshake?
Shake hands.
So like every time I see someone, I'm like, "Yo, what's good, Mike?"
Yeah.
And I dap myself.
Oh.
Or you give me your.
That's how I introduce people.
Yeah.
Like they know me as that, or is that weird every time I do it to them?
It's up to you. It can't be weirder than a foot. It's really up to you. Like, am I dapping myself, or am I giving like, hey, I'm offering my foot to dap?
I feel like I'm doing this.
Either way, they're gonna think.
Because people they're gonna catch up like, oh, he just does that. But
that's just his thing.
Bringing my foot out.
He might be eccentric. You might be able to get that off.
Nah, bringing your foot out is never going.
Foot is crazy.
Yeah.
Foot is crazy. Last one. Would you rather? Okay. Would you rather have steam out of your ears like a train every time you're mad, or bark like a dog when you're excited?
Steam. Barking is crazy.
Yeah. Steam is, I think steam is crazy.
Steam is at least it's aggressive, like.
Yeah, it might scare people.
Yeah. If I start just barking, it's never gonna look.
It'd probably be like a Rottweiler or like a Chihuahua.
That's what I was thinking. Like, what if it's like a?
What if it's not a fire dog?
Yeah, but.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Yeah. I think I'll go with the steam.
That's fair.
That could feel like a superpower almost.
Yeah, people might think there might be really something off with you.
Like there's more. Like he's keeping the calm right now. He can go crazy. He can go crazy if he really wants to.
All right. Cool. So that set the flow for us, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey.
So now we're gonna get right into it. So first question I have to get us going today is, what is the earliest memory you remember of yourself, or like some of us like to say, when you first gained consciousness?
I don't know. I can't think of one direct thing, but they're like memories that I know happened when I was like 4, around like anywhere from 3 to 5, that I know happened when I was in Nigeria, whether it's playing with my sisters, or when I first like saw what a drawing was, because my sisters used to draw, and that amazed me, and I started drawing. So I have like key memories from around that age, but I couldn't tell you which one was first. But just a lot of memories of my family.
So drawing runs like in your family?
To an extent, I would say so. My mom didn't draw, but she was a creative. She went to like fashion school and stuff like that. But my sisters drew. My oldest sister drew, and my second sister drew also. They were both really talented artists, and I used to see them and start drawing, and that's what got me into it.
So who's the best drawer in the family?
It's me. It's me, and I make it known.
Okay. Is that like something they've all agreed to, or is that just self-proclaimed?
First of all, they quit, so.
Okay, yeah. If you quit, yeah.
But my sisters were really tough, and they were tough at a young age. Like, even I could gauge, like, they were really nice. They just, like, life, throughout life, certain things stay, but they were
So
really,
you're like more of
really
like a
talented.
survivalist, not like best because like you're the best. You're the best because you.
I can't say that if they continued, I would be the best,
Got
but
it. Okay.
luckily,
Luckily you're here.
and they stopped, like.
Wow. If I was you, I'd make fun of my siblings every single time I could.
About
They
the
can do
art?
about it. Yeah, they can't start.
Like I said, I make it known that it's me when I'm there.
Yeah.
But they were nice in their time. Their time was fast.
And their time is nasty.
In their time, it was nice.
Okay, so you said your sisters growing up, you saw them draw, like, and that kind of brought you into it. Like, so was there a point like they were your favorite artists, and like, do you kind of like channel any of them in your paint? I guess in your.
They were
art?
definitely. I mean, that's who I saw. I remember my sister. My sisters were just creative. We were in Nigeria, and like, it's not just being Nigerian. When you're a kid, you just make your own fun.
Yeah.
So they were always doing little arts and crafts stuff. They used to make clothes out of paper. So at a young age, just playing with them. Yeah. They were really creative. I got really creative. But as far as art-wise, that was the first person I saw draw something and create it. I didn't know that was a thing before I saw my sisters do it. And that's something that when I saw it, I instantly just started drawing. I remember my first drawing too was Muhammad Ali from a newspaper that I was looking at on my counter in Nigeria.
That's crazy. Muhammad Ali.
I feel like it was heat, but I don't know.
I know. It probably wasn't.
I don't think it was about
the memory.
The memory, it looked crazy. I'm like, the shading, but I was like, I did not know what shading was back then.
It was stick figures?
She was probably crazy.
But that's dope that you have, like, you can tie it back to that, because like having a story to remember the origin of your talent really can kind of shed light on how it's become what it's become today. Mm-hmm. So like, what's the? Because I feel like when I look at a lot of artists and I look at a lot of paint and like just drawings, it tells a story, right? Mm-hmm. So let's go back to when you first saw your sister paint and then you drew Muhammad Ali. Like, when was the first time your painting or your drawings told a story?
That wasn't too much later in life. I feel like I started drawing then. Everybody was like, oh, Arinze can really draw. So then I just did it as a party trick. Like, I was just nice. I was nice. I just did it for attention. When you're the new kid at school, like, you got to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, you got to. It's either fight or be talented.
I had my Dragon Ball Z Goku characters down, going crazy.
No, that was back. Oh my goodness.
And I like deliver it and act like that's regular, but
that's nasty.
That's that shit. That's regular. That's what I do. But that stuff didn't like fulfill me because I was kind of like I was creating as a performance for other people's validity.
Yeah. Like magic.
Yeah, and it just wasn't interesting to me. Yeah. So I didn't really start painting with a story until probably much later, probably like late college, after college. Mm-hmm. Then I started doing a lot of internalizing, and like, to me, the idea of what it meant to be a good artist kind of changed. To me, I felt like at that point it became, I wanted to portray my truth in that medium. And by that I mean, like, we all have all these lived experiences, that get us to the exact person we are at that moment, and translating that onto a canvas in a way nobody else can do it because they didn't go through the exact path in life
different story.
Yeah, so that's when like the story aspect started coming in. I started referencing my family, cultural aspects of growing up in Nigeria, the cultural aspects there, growing up in America, the cultural aspects there, and that's where I started actually trying to form this narrative.
Do you remember the first time you like started to understand the concept of emotion?
Yeah, I did. I mean, the concept of emotion. I don't know. That's like broad. In what way?
So in a way that would allow you to put it on the canvas.
Okay, for me, when I think of the emotional aspect of it, I like to think like I'm thinking about the color, and I'm also thinking about the figure.
Okay.
So early on, I started thinking about how I wanted to like create art, how I wanted to create images, and something that really interested me were like Pixar movies and stuff. I loved how there was different layers to it. You know, I remember watching Shrek as a kid. It was hilarious to me, but there are also jokes there for the adults that you can't catch on to until you're older.
Exactly.
And like even in older Disney movies where it was like these are some really sad topics they were dealing with, like Bambi's mom getting shot or whatever.
Yeah, it was going crazy.
Lion King. It was really emotional things that would probably pull at your heartstrings as an adult too. But they're able to tell these stories for kids and adults, and even the way they color the stories, these bright primary colors, but you're really telling a sad story within it. So this idea of like control these people's emotions, that's where the primary colors come in. Primary colors make people happy.
Yeah.
And using that while still, what's the word I'm looking for? While still creating this like true, maybe even sad story, but because of the way they created with kids' characters and animals and talking this, but in the heart of it, there's something like there's a real thing in it. So I started looking at that in painting. I use a lot of primary colors. I tell a lot of stories in my painting that are sometimes might seem a little dark to me, but because of the colors, you can appreciate the painting on like, or you can receive it two different ways. So I use a lot of bright colors to get the mood up, but I'm telling a lot of like, what to me seem like melancholic narratives in my paintings sometimes.
Hype them up to knock them down. I like it. Even like
true though.
Even the story like when you're talking about Lion King, I'm just remembering like the ending scene of A Bug's Life where Hopper's telling all the ants like, know your place, you get the food, we eat it.
Yeah, like.
And then I can't remember the main character, but he's like, no, like we outnumber you guys 5-1. You should be afraid of us. And that's like, that sentiment is like, you hear a lot of politics.
Yeah, it's a general.
It's crazy as a kid. I'm
like
I'm thinking he's talking about ants, but adults can hear that.
They can see the bigger picture.
Way bigger.
So yeah, and they're receiving this movie at a different level than you, but y'all are both enjoying it.
Yes, I'm thinking, yeah, there's 10 ants to 3 hoppers, and they're like, there's 100,000 citizens to 37 government officials.
Yeah.
They do a great job of breaking it down where it's palatable for everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody could take something from it.
Like,
and
yeah, 100%.
Can really
like
take into that.
I feel like if I paint something, even if someone doesn't understand the narrative aspect of it, there's something visually just appeals to them. And then there's this further deeper thing within it that somebody who has that context might look at it and be like, it'll hit for them differently than the person just observes the painting. It's like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you say like is your biggest struggle or has been your biggest struggle as an artist?
Biggest struggle. It goes back to the original thing I said about like I wanted to portray my truth in it from my life experiences. So, like I said early on, it was a lot of like it was a party trick, and then when it really became important to me to shoot, why I lose the question?
I said your biggest struggle as an artist.
But yeah, so yeah, my biggest struggle was probably like being honest to myself within the canvas. You know, in the day and age we live in, you're seeing a lot of. It's easy to get influenced by what's around you, and try to chase what's working. But I believe from like an artistic standpoint, you should stick to what's honestly and true for you. put that vulnerability on the canvas and put yourself out there in that way. I think that's what I just like artists to do that. There's many ways to do it.
And do you think like are you saying like you struggle with that, or you've kind of overcome to the point where now you
Oh, I mean, now I'm at a good place with it. I think the struggling part of it was when I made that transition from like party tricks to trying to tell a narrative. But now that's all I'm interested in doing as far as.
Was there an experience that made you realize like, hey, like, yeah, I can do this. It's a good party trick. I may get some sort of attention, but I have a talent that I could use to kind of answer a calling of actually doing something, telling a story,
Yeah.
answering a need. When did you make that transition?
I won't say it was a moment. I felt like I was creating the paintings to show people and await their reaction to it. And when it was a good reaction, it felt good, like but it wasn't really fulfilling. It wasn't until I didn't enjoy the process, because the process was just for the end goal. Like I was just doing like sketches, and even the way I would paint would be for like, what would people like? Maybe I should draw this famous person, you know. And all they come, oh yeah, it looks just like them, but it didn't show anything particular to me. So what else again?
It kind of sounds like you were like painting like what's equivalent to like fast fashion.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't stand out. It wasn't identifiably me. So making that transition was needed at that time.
That's cool. And do you think like the art has like improved as a result of it, or like do you feel you're creating your best work now?
For sure. I think like in the last couple of years, also putting myself in that artistic community, I think these are my best works, and that's all that, like I said, I'm painting them for me now.
Yeah.
So when I say that, I mean that, like, I think the last couple of years, the paintings I've been doing have been my best, and it's a life path.
You know, I would agree. I definitely feel like in seeing some of your pieces, like, and the stories behind them, it's interesting. I always find it interesting to see people's like the target versus the painting, because I look at this and I'm like, yeah, this is a cool face. Then there's this whole journey that is behind the story to the picture, and I think that's the most interesting part, because it kind of allows me to see the way they think. I have a glimpse into your thought process now, because this is how this story is imaged to you on like the canvas, which I think is very like I just think it's interesting, and that's why I go to museums. Like I won't like.
You be in there.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm definitely not an art snob, but I'm just trying to think like I actually trying to think two things, and I'm hating, so I'm gonna just say it. One, I'll be like, I feel like I could draw that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it just be like squares and triangles, and I'm like,
yeah,
come on.
It'd be interesting, but like in situations like that, you kind of have to, because a lot of people say stuff like that, but it's you're looking at sometimes you're looking at something out of context, like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that might be true too. And
I'm talking about context, not even just within time, but that's a whole art history thing. But I understand that there was a point in time I felt that way, but it's like you have to think about when that painting was painted and the time it was painting.
Yeah.
It might seem like what it is now, but imagine if everybody was doing like hyper realistic paintings, and then someone did this shape, and at that time it just caused the ruckus or whatever.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That context is real though.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking from privilege. 2024. I have these tools.
Yeah.
And what's like normal thought processes to me may have been like taboo or foreign
Yeah.
at the time. So they're like innovative in their perspective, space, and time. In their perspective, space, and time. Can you tell us about a time that, like, I know you're talking about family, you're talking about art, you're talking about telling stories and like throughout your gift. Can you tell us about a time like you felt vulnerable? And I'm not even talking about art. I just mean in period, like a vulnerable time you were in life.
A vulnerable time I was in life. I'll probably say like my early 20s. I felt like that's when I became really cautious about unlearning, what's the word I'm looking for? Like societal ideals that I didn't think really aligned with me, but I felt like it might have aligned with what was like considered normal at the time. So,
what were some of them?
let me try to think of a good one.
Give me the real ones too. Don't sugar.
Now, like a big part of my early 20s was me trying to like confront like my ego and my insecurities and how I project them into the world.
Okay.
So a lot of that time I was like hyper focused on like if I feel a certain way, tracing down that feeling to its core in my root and why is it making me project this into the world.
Yeah.
So that was just me being vulnerable with myself and like really having to look at myself and be like, it's not even really your thing. You just feel like you need to do this thing, whether it's because that's what they say, that's what's a societal norm in terms of like, I don't know. I don't even know how to exactly word it, but just issues I was having with my ego and how I was putting it out there. And so a lot of the vulnerability was like analyzing things that I'd probably done in the past, what led me to feel that way, whether it was just controlling my emotions with certain people or feeling like I needed to put myself above other people because of something that I needed to work on within myself, analyzing these things, fixing them, and then moving on with my life and trying to go through the world in a way where I benefit the people around me more and contribute to them in a way that's fulfilling to them and just live an overall more fulfilling life and leave just a positive, I guess, footprint on the earth in terms of how I move.
Well, what did you learn from that journey? Like, what was at the end of that, like that ego path for you? And like just kind of detaching yourself from societal norms that didn't fit you. Like,
yeah, it was just I wanted to interact with people better, just in like a positive way. So leaving that is just in a general conversation. If I see someone raising their voice at me or something, or I know what might make me do that, and I know whatever's going on with them, it might not have anything to do with me. And if I feel like in that situation, it wouldn't help if I raised my voice too. That's just two egos going back and forth now.
Yeah.
So I'll just receive it, and just handle situations better because I'm more understanding and I have more empathy for myself, and allows me to have empathy for other people and how I move through the world.
Absolutely. And I also think a lot of times even when I'm talking to people and like, I feel like we are no longer speaking logic and like emotion is now taking over the conversation, you got to kind of know when to leave because at this point, we're not going to get to any reasonable resolve.
Yeah, you never know what people are dealing with,
Yeah. That's true.
Someone could be having a bad day and it's very normal. They're just rude that day or something, And I think like if you can just analyze that situation and know this doesn't have anything to do with you, you might not get emotional and lash back out at them. So it's been like tremendous in just how I deal with people and how I interact with people. I feel like once you can see those kind of things, just from once you can analyze it within yourself, you can spot it like that within somebody.
I feel like that's one of like the biggest things I've learned in life, where it's like not only is it what it is, but a lot of the things that we experience are affected by causes that we'll just never know. Like somebody could walk into you in the street, bump you, and you're like, oh, that guy's a dickhead. But it's like, no, like he could have just like experienced something that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, he might not have his mind. I mean, just having empathy for people.
Yeah, grace.
Having empathy, like, because you're going to need it one day too.
Yeah, you got to allow yourself to live life from a different vantage point than your own. And if not, then that's when you end up involved in something you got no business.
100%. Think for yourself.
You got to. What do you do to remain present?
Well, I'm trying. Oh my God. Nah, cause that's like my main thing.
I know.
I'm not like ADHD diagnosed, but I know.
No, I remember there'll be times when we're just like chilling, movie night, whatever, and then you'll just leave. Like you'll like walk out of the room.
Sometimes I'll be talking to people and I get so embarrassed when it happens. My eye will just drift. And every so be like, where'd you just go? And I'm like, God damn, you caught me. And
I don't even call it out anymore because I'm just so used to it, so I just keep talking.
Yeah, my mind is always running, but I'm finding things. I get a little bit of silence when I paint, when I'm in it. I hate running, but when I'm running, I get a little bit of silence in my head, and I'm able to like hold on to a thought for longer periods of time. So in those little moments, I get it. I'm trying to like figure out how to bring it into my general space. I don't know if I start meditating or something.
It's something about exercising, and I don't know how to like explain it, but I always just tell people like, it's like the demons can't find you there.
You're running them.
Yeah, like when
You're
you're
out
in
working them.
it's like when you're in the gym, sometimes it's like the only thing I think about when I'm in the gym is the gym. Like it's like the outside thoughts of the world for that hour and a half, hour 15, whatever your workout regimen is. I can't find myself thinking about anything but using the song as motivation and the gym equipment and me.
Yeah.
And then the moment I walk out that door, it's just always waiting.
Yeah, I feel like those little moments where you don't let the world in, but it's hard for me to get them. But exercise has been a good one. If I learn how to meditate, out of here.
To me, it's like when people say meditate, like, what are they focusing on when you say meditate? Because you
I don't
can't
know
just
either.
sit like,
I don't know either.
hey, I'm meditating. It's like you're opening your mind, but you're opening it to something.
From what I get from it, it's just like being able to push everything out
That's
for
so
a period
hard
of
for me.
for a period of time. I don't even.
I
It's
don't
not even.
know if
It's not
I'm-
even fathomable for me. But I
I'm
want
not
to.
capable of, and maybe I'm putting myself in a box. I don't know if I'm capable of open meditation. Or I have to push something out to make way for something. I have to meditate on something.
I don't know.
So like to have, I'm meditating on an open mind. I don't know if I can just push everything out and not refill it. Like I don't.
Yeah.
What would that purpose be to me then?
Yeah.
So, but to the people who can do it, more power to them.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying.
that's not my calling. Not right now, anyway. All right. So last thing we have before we get you out of here is who is Arinze?
Who is Arinze? Who is Arinze? I'm trying to think at a core level. If I had to go to like the simplest thing, I'm someone who likes to work and express my creativity through multiple mediums. That's the broadest because I try to do everything I can. So I'm somebody who likes to work and express himself through multiple mediums.
Yeah, I think that sums you up pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. No. Well, appreciate you for coming through.
Thank you for
You have
having
anything
me.
you want to plug or?
Mbari Wear Artwear on Instagram. The collection dropped. It's really beautiful.
It is.
Me and my partner, Kevin Coleman.
Yes, sir.
He's Black American. I'm Nigerian American. We have this shared love for each other's culture. So this first collection pays a lot of homage to the historical context of the Black American and Nigerian American and the shared history between those two, where they collide, where they deviate. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I have like all the pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
It's our number
check
one
that out.
supporter.
Yes, sir. So definitely check that out. Appreciate you for coming through, my guy.
I appreciate it.
That's a wrap for this episode, and we'll catch you on the next one. Stay blessed.